So I've got something I'm pretty excited about today. Something that's been in the works for pretty much way longer than anything else I've messed with in this hobby. Look at that. That's not annoying, is it? My very first year of drone racing, 2017. My first race was in April. That year, there was a pretty extensive regional series with Multi-GP where they had the regional finals track. It had like a dive gate and a hurdle section, if you remember that track at all. I was pushing really, really hard. I managed to qualify for the regional finals. I was hoping to do my best at that race, and I even set up portions of that track here, there. I set part of it up at my church, and like I was really, you know, working hard on trying to get fast on that track. I remember sitting there working on those track sections and trying different things and wishing I knew what my time was, wishing I knew how fast I was getting through these laps. I was super early in the hobby. I had no kind of timer. I didn't have a puck or anything. I remember thinking, well, if there was just a hands-free, like voice-activated stopwatch, I could use that. So I literally like put my goggles down, went to the app store and tried to find a hands-free stopwatch that was voice-activated that would allow me to just say lap, and then it would tell me, you know, what my lap time was. To me, it seemed pretty primitive, pretty useful outside of drone racing, and I was kind of surprised that it wasn't in the app store. So I kind of went about my business and eventually picked up one of the Immersion Lap RF pucks, and now I've got a broken Lap RF 8-way that I need to get fixed. Even with a puck or even with an 8-way, you still have to set it up and get power to it. It's just a hassle. That was always just kind of in the back of my mind. These past couple of weeks, I finally took the time to seek out a freelancer to make a version of a hands-free voice-activated stopwatch. So he's been sending me some revisions. I finally have a revision that's working properly that I've got installed on my phone. I've submitted it to the app store, so I probably won't release this video until it's available. So at the end of this video, I'll tell you where to go to find the app. But today, I'm gonna test the app. Like, I've tested it just in my office and stuff to make sure it works. I didn't make it specific. It's not a drone racing timer. I literally just called it a hands-free stopwatch because I'm hoping that other people will buy it, other than us drone racers. But here it is, just a stopwatch, and watch this. Watch what happens if I say start. Let it go for a second, and then if I say lap.
7.81 seconds.
Awesome. Lap.
7.85 seconds.
Hey, I'm very consistent on my laps.
5.69 seconds.
She heard that L word. I have to be careful. Lap.
5.96 seconds.
Lap.
3.65 seconds.
Stop. She stopped. Awesome. And now watch this. Reset. And start. Stop. So, yeah, that's the app. It's stupid simple. I've been learning about the coding language Swift, a software on Mac called Xcode. I don't even own a Mac, so I'm literally renting a cloud Mac on remote desktop so that I can work on kind of some finishing touches on the app and then submitting it to the App Store and stuff. You have to actually do that from a Mac, so it's a big pain in the butt, but I'm hoping to do some learning about Xcode and that kind of thing. I made some Android apps 100 years ago, so it's not completely foreign to me, but still, it's a completely different thing. Nonetheless, the first version of the app is here. It's very crude, it's very primitive. If you have trouble with it, just shut down the app and restart it. What I wanted was I just wanted a stopwatch app that would literally just read me out my time if I said the word lap. And obviously that's not gonna be the most accurate, but what I wanna do today is I'm gonna set up my lap timer, get it running, and then compare the accuracy of what I get with my phone just to see how viable it is. It may or may not be super useful. I assume that as long as I'm saying lap in a consistent manner and at a consistent time, I'm actually pretty pumped up about it. Can't wait to give it a shot. So we had some thunderstorms roll through last night. I got to do a little bit of track repair. Let's do that, and then let's go. All right, so I've got a race going now in live time. I've got my phone set up with the app right here. I'm a little worried because I don't know where the speaker is. I'm not sure how well that will hear me. Normally, I would probably set it like on my lap while I'm flying or maybe on the table right next to me. If I have trouble, I might try that next, but I wanted to go ahead and set it up so you guys could see live kind of how it's going. So now a couple things I did have to do. Normally, I don't think this would be a problem for me, but today it's Saturday. I was getting blown up with a couple of different group chats. So I I literally had to like close the browser on my computer, put my phone on airplane mode just to stop the constant dings. I don't think like a ding here or there would mess anything up, but it was just a little distracting. So let's do it this way and see how it goes. All right, here we go. Lap.
Shane's 3719.9 in first.
Lap.
Shane's 314.7 in first.
Lap.
2 minutes 8.78 seconds.
All right, so that setup with it up against the computer isn't gonna work. I'm too far away, it's too echoey in here for it to hear me say lap. While I was flying, I couldn't tell if it was working because I couldn't hear it over the lifetime lady, but it was not working. So I'm gonna try something different here. My theory is because when I'm in my office upstairs and I say the word lap, it is so responsive, works perfect every time. I'm not sure what the deal is in there. My guess is just so echoey that the voice recognition is having a bit of a hard time. So I'm gonna try doing it outside here. Obviously we don't have the lifetime information. We'll just compare however many laps I record on the phone with the last so many laps on lifetime and see what the times are. So hopefully, fingers crossed, man, fingers crossed that this works. So let's give it a shot. Start. Lap.
17.11 seconds.
Lap.
11.20 seconds.
Lap.
10.24 seconds.
Lap.
10.26 seconds.
Lap.
10.63 seconds.
Lap.
13.34 seconds.
Lap.
10.69 seconds.
Lap.
10.68 seconds.
Lap.
10.49 seconds.
Ooh. Lap.
25.96 seconds.
Okie dokie. Let's see how these compare. Now, obviously, we can't compare the first lap because I started them at different times. Oop. I said the word start and it started. Here, time out. I gotta watch what words I say here. All right, the first LAP we need to ignore because I didn't START these at the same time. But the second one looks like it was off by a pretty good clip. So 10.8 versus 11.2. The third one, 10.2 versus 10.3. Then we got 10.2 versus 10.3. All right, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure how you guys feel about that, but I'm really impressed by it. I chalk up the first lap being so far off just because I wasn't used to saying lap consistently, but as it went along, they definitely got really accurate. So this isn't for timing a race. This is just a practice tool. I'm pretty excited about it. So the issues I think we're gonna have are definitely just related to your environment, making sure it's not too loud. So in general, I feel really good about the accuracy of this. This is right on par with what I had hoped for. So that's very exciting. I'm gonna take it. That's awesome. Finding the right situation to use it, that it's not too noisy, it's not too echoey, and that kind of thing I think is gonna be a little tricky. So just keep that in mind. If you go to the App Store and buy this, just know that A, it was cheap, B, I've probably invested like $350 into making this thing. So hopefully we can make it better over time, but just keep in mind that it's not perfect. I'm not trying to tell you it's perfect, but I'm hoping that it is a very useful practice tool for everybody.